Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I am a journaler, journal maker and teacher of journaling courses, and today is day 7 of the Inspiration Journal course, where I am showing you how I filled up this Yellow Pages phone book and turned it into a collage art journal. And our prompt for today, our collage prompt, is map. Now, I did cheat a little bit because this phone book came with some map pages in it. And I thought, why not make use of that? Let's not waste them. I did rip out most of them, but I kept one where on this side it has a map of Bowen, which is where I currently live. And on the other side it has a map of Airlie Beach, which is, I say, that's my favourite place in the world. So if you want more of a specific prompt than a map, think of using a map image that connects you with home, with whatever home means to you. It could be the place where you live, it could be the place where you grew up, or it could be the place where you would want to live, you know, whatever home means to you. And yeah, so since I live in Bowen currently, I call this home, but I came from Melbourne originally. That's where I grew up for the first 28 years of my life. So Melbourne will always be home, of course. And, you know, my family's still in Melbourne and all that kind of thing. So I feel very rich because I have two homes. And I get the best of both worlds, because in Melbourne I lived in the Dandenongs, which is hills and trees and forest and really pretty. But then in Bowen I live in the Whitsundays, so we have the beautiful ocean. And if you can see this map, there's beach or coastline, you know, north, east, south. So literally there's just beaches everywhere in Bowen. We're surrounded by beaches, and when you drive around town, it's a really small country rural beach town, so it takes 10 minutes to get anywhere in Bowen from one side to the other. But yeah, when you're driving around just, you know, in town or around Bowen, you're often likely to see some view of the beach, which I really love. So every town, of course, has pros and cons. The pros that I love is the beaches, of course. I love the blue, sparkly aqua water. The views are just stunning. And the warm weather is the other main reason I love Bowen, because of the sun. I am definitely a summer girl rather than winter, and I love balmy nights and all that kind of thing. I thought I was going to use scrapbook paper to decorate this page, and I do use some a bit later on, but I ended up going with some paint, and I'm literally just going to paint the entire left-hand side page. And this is some beautiful metallic paint. Last year I got back into painting and art journaling as a form of self-expression, and I just bought these little trays of acrylic paints, one that wasn't metallic and one set that was metallic, and I've pretty much used all of the non-metallic paints, and now I've just been using the blue, not the blue, the metallic ones, and I'm using the blue metallic one for this page to remind me of, or to connect with, that idea of the blue sparkly ocean, the beaches, that kind of thing. Now, let me remind you, this is not a perfect journal. You can see here I've made a mess. Paint has gone onto other pages. That is totally fine. I actually really like it. I like having it a little bit messy, and that allows me to just be free and loose with it and not get too precious about it. And I like, you know, just putting some paint over here on this other page, putting some paint over the washi, not being too precise. I'm really just having fun, just slopping paint around. It's really, really fun. So you don't have to use paint, of course. The prompt is to just use a map page, but if you would like to get your paints out, do so, because I do use paint quite a bit throughout my journal, and so therefore in this course you will see paint being used. And I do encourage you, if you want, and if you have it, get your paint out, because it really does help you just to free up, loosen up, have fun, and just the feeling of you know, slapping paint on page. It's just, I don't know, really, really enjoyable. And I like seeing different things in my journal when I turn the pages, you know, collage with paper, maybe a bit of lace over here, some ribbon, some fabric, a map page here, some paint over there, some tape here. I like it. Just gives the journal some variety and all of that kind of thing. And again, I like how you can kind of see the writing underneath there. So some of that phone book is getting preserved and adding to the layers and to the richness of the stories that are being told through this journal. And then, yeah, I will go ahead and add some of that scrapbook paper and just do a little bit of collage here and there. I just chose 1, 2, 3, 4 scrapbook papers that sort of represented what I like. They're all blue, of course. Blue is my favorite color, and you know, tying in with the ocean. And just I chose a lot of glittery types. Some of them, 2 of them have gold foil in them, and 2 of the others, the other 2 have glitter, blue glitter. So I loved using that to represent, you know, when the sun hits the ocean and it's just like diamonds, like dancing diamonds on the surface of the ocean. I love that so much. I love glitter. I love sparkles. So yes. And then I have a little sneak peek of the journaling video as well, where I add some photos to the page. So I have to let that dry. So I think I let that dry overnight and then come back later to add my scrapbook paper, which you'll see a cut now to that page, all done. And yeah, this is the next journaling video. If you want to see the full journaling video as I add my writing and share more about why I love Bowen, you can check that out over on my Patreon. It is in the description box below for the Sapphire tier, which is the video tier. And these are 2 photos that I took of Murray Bay and Horseshoe Bay, my 2 favourite beaches in Bowen. And they are just 2 of my favourite photos that I took ages ago. But what I really wanted to do with this particular journal was to kind of capture where I am right now. So these are photos that I took this year. And so it's more representative of who I am at this moment in time and where I am at this moment in time. So I'm going to put these on the page. And one of these is a freebie. So there is a freebie for today over on Buy Me a Coffee or on my Patreon if you want to download this photo of the beach. And if you like the beach, and just look at that colour, isn't it stunning? So beautiful. That is available. And I forgot to mention there are 2 other freebies up there from 2 previous days as well. So I think there's a total of 5 freebies now for this course, plus the main quote, plus all of the intro pieces and the prompts. But yeah, they are all there now. Yesterday I put up a freebie. For yesterday, there's a freebie with some vintage music covers, or a vintage music cover, the same that I use for my vintage music page. And then on one of the previous days, I put up some vintage ledger, so that's some nice blank writing space you can use on any page for any collage, but especially suited to vintage. So yeah, just showing you how I'm going to lay out my photos. Then I grab a Sharpie, a black Sharpie, just to add some messy lines around the photos. And if you'd like to see the rest of the video, feel free to check out my Patreon, and I'll see you over there. Bye guys! A big special thank you to all my beautiful patrons who supported in May. Thank you for allowing me to do this for another month. I hope you absolutely love being a patron and all the extra rewards you get over on my Patreon. You get access to extra videos and printables and personal updates, first access to my journals, and much more. So if you'd like to become a patron in June, feel free to check out the link in the description box to my Patreon.